What's up, Mafia? Jalen Hurts just texted Jonathan Greenard before the man even put on a helmet. His message? We're gonna go get another one. And Greenard said that's how everybody carries themselves in this building. That's the standard. We also got 5th-year options on Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, 2 UDFA steals, a Nigerian athlete with the most insane testing scores this league has ever seen, and Jeff Stoutland just said something about last year's offense that every Eagles fan needs to hear. So, let's get it mixing. Let's start with Jonathan Greenard, because this press conference got me genuinely excited. This man has been in Minnesota. He's been in Houston. And when he walked into the NovaCare complex for the first time, this is what he says. I was in Minnesota. There was no hardware. I was in Houston. There was no hardware. I come here. I actually see it. I hear guys talking about it. That hits different. He's not coming here for a paycheck. He's not here to stat stuff. He said, quote, "It's not necessarily about getting back to double digits. It's more so how we can affect the quarterback." He got 12 plus sacks in both the 2023 and 2024 seasons. Last year he dealt with some stuff that kept those numbers down, but his pressure rate was actually the best it's ever been. He's not declining. He's still in his prime at 28 years old. And Vic Fangio, he specifically said that Greenard is, and I'm pulling it directly from his presser, hard to block, wins in multiple ways, and is a proven run stopper. And a pass rusher. The Eagles gave up 2 third-round draft picks and locked him up in a 4-year deal for $100 million. He's the 15th high-paid pass rusher in the league. And they got him for $20 million cheaper than Jalen Phillips. And here's what makes it even better. Greenard came in and immediately said it's going to be something serious when Vic Fangio draws it all up. He doesn't even know the scheme yet, but he's already mentally locked in.
Vic, we all know, is a mastermind of calling plays and scheming things up, and also knowing when to just let it fly and just play normal straight rush 4. And I feel like that's a great addition, or I'll be a great addition to this, because I don't know how he's going to draw it up. That's the exciting part about it. But I know when it is drawn up, it's going to be something serious, and we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So any way I can be disruptive, bring that relentless motor still here, and continue to do what I've been doing, I'll fit right in.
He's ready to do what the team needs him to do, and he's ready to elevate the game of all the young players around him. That's a dog. That's exactly what this defense needed. And to me, he gives shades of Malcolm Jenkins. And that's a great leader to be compared to. Now let's go back to the Jalen Hurts text, because I don't think people are giving that enough credit. Jalen Hurts texted a new teammate, a guy who just got traded, and told him that they're going to win a Super Bowl. That's not a statement that you just say out of nowhere. That's a quarterback who's already won one, who's hungry for another one, and who's setting the tone before training camp even starts. And while that's happening, a handful of national reporters are calling 2026 the prove-it year for Jalen Hurts. And look, I get it. Jalen Hurts brings clicks, it brings headlines, and it brings news. But time and time again, he's proven it. When the media says he can't, he goes out and he does it. So if they want to call this a prove-it year, they can. But I know to Hurts, this just feels like another day at the office. And his former coach at Oklahoma, the same guy who coached him before his college career took off, went on the record and recently said,
and we've talked a lot here as of late in the last several months. I can tell you what, he is a hungry guy right now, and he's always motivated, but I feel even for him a little extra edge from him right now. Like he's gotten his taste of obviously success and going to Super Bowls, winning the Super Bowl, but like this guy wants a lot more and he's coming for it.
That he's always motivated, but there's something a little different in him heading into this season. He's gotten a taste of success, and now he wants more. You combine that mentality with Greenard walking in and immediately buying into the standard, this team's culture is built different. Now on to the future of the defense, because the Eagles just made it official. The 5th-year options have been picked up for both Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. Jalen Carter's 2027 season is now fully guaranteed at $27.1 million, and Smith is locked in for $13.8 million. Both 25 years old, both first-round draft picks in 2023, out of Georgia. And before anybody panics, this is not a red flag. This is smart cap management. Just look at what happened with Jordan Davis. The Eagles picked up his 5th-year option. He went out and had a breakout year, and they gave him a $26 million per year extension. For Carter, this is a no-brainer. 13.5 career sacks, 108 tackles, 37 quarterback hits, and a 2024 All-Pro. The man was dominant. Last year he dealt with shoulder issues. Both shoulders banged up throughout the season, and his numbers still held up. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Eagles still have real interest in extending Jalen Carter, and that could come later this offseason and maybe around training camp. Think the Deonte Smith situation, a 5th-year option plus an extension on top of that. For Nolan Smith, it's a little more complicated. When Nolan Smith is healthy, he's a problem. 4 sacks in the 2024 playoffs alone. That's 3rd all time in Eagles franchise postseason sack history. But he tore his tricep in the Super Bowl and tore it again in Week 3 versus the Rams and struggled to find consistency after that. The Eagles also brought in Greenard on a $100 million deal. They've also got Jalen Hurts, who led the defense in sacks last year. They signed Arnold Ebiketie and Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. This edge room is loaded. Mike Garafolo reported earlier this offseason that the Eagles could explore the trade market for guys who become a little more expendable. Nolan Smith's name has come up in those conversations. Now, I'm not saying they're trading him, but that 5th-year option keeps all options open. If he goes out and gets 8 to 10 sacks this year, he earns that extension. If not, the Eagles definitely have that flexibility. To me, this was definitely the right move. If you want to be here, you have to go out there and you have to earn it. Now let's talk about some UDFAs, because Howie Roseman did not stop after the draft was over. There's 2 names I want to focus on: Deonte Lawson and Joshua Weru. Lawson was a linebacker out of Alabama, 6'2", 228 pounds. Pro Football Focus gave him an 83.6 run defense grade in 2025. He led Alabama with 89 tackles last year. He was a 2-time team captain and was calling defensive signals. He was a Buckets Award semifinalist. That's given to the best linebacker in the country. He was projected as a 4th-round draft pick basically on every consensus board. But he went undrafted. Why did that happen, you may ask? Torn ACL in 2024, a complex injury history, and some teams had some concerns about his age. But the Eagles didn't care. They were reportedly the first team to call Lawson after he went undrafted. Hot Campbell is going to be out until August, recovering from surgery, which means Lawson could get reps, but he has a real uphill battle to make this roster. The Eagles linebacker room is loaded. I think they have one of the best rooms in the league, and if he wants to make this team, he definitely has to ball out. Now on to Joshua Weru, edge rusher out of Kenya, 6'4", 244 pounds, ran a 4.45 40, 41-inch vertical. He was a rugby player and has never played organized football in his life. Out of the 2 international prospects the Eagles signed, Weru is the one who moves more like a football player and is closer to being ready for an NFL camp. He's not going to start week 1, but the Eagles have a track record here. Jordan Mailata never played football either. He's now one of the best left tackles in the league. So you keep Weru on the practice squad under the international pathway exemption. You give him the Clint Hurt, you give him time, and then you see what you've got. And speaking of international prospects, let's talk Uwar Bernard, because the comparisons people are making are wild. Bernard is 6'4", 306 pounds, under 10% body fat, and at the NFL's International Prospect Showcase, his testing numbers beat out Myles Garrett's 2027 combine numbers when you put them side by side. His relative athletic score as a defensive tackle would be a perfect 10, best for that position. He said he watched YouTube clips of football and decided that he was ready to play. Now, is he going to be on the field this year? Probably not. But just like Weru, you just don't draft a guy out of charity. You draft him because his ceiling is high, and it doesn't make sense not to. And I cannot wait to see what these international players turn into. The Philadelphia Eagles have a way of grooming talent. They have all the physical gifts. Now it's all about, can they mold them into NFL caliber football players. Now I want to end on something that doesn't get talked about enough, because the offense last year was terrible, and now we're finally getting answers. Jeff Stoutland, one of the most respected offensive line coaches in NFL history, 12 years with the Philadelphia Eagles, went on a New Heights podcast with Jason and Travis Kelce, one of the few interviews he's done since leaving the organization. And here's what he said about last year's offensive struggles.
What happened last year, just in general? Like, what was the reason for the struggles in your mind? I don't know. What went wrong last season with the Birds?
Well, I think anytime things don't go well, and I don't want to sound like I'm on like in an interview but yeah, it's the truth. It's execution, and it's calling the right play at the right time and not running bad plays into bad defenses. Yeah. I mean, it ain't that hard. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and make up all these. That's pretty much it.
Simple, direct, and no excuses. Here's the context. The rushing game collapsed last year. Rushing yards dropped from over 3,000 in 2024 to just 1,908 in 2025. Saquon Barkley's production was nearly cut in half. And the tush push, the play that Stoutland helped develop, stalled out too. During that decline, Stoutland's duties as the run game coordinator were slowly pulled away from him. During the season, the coaching staff began making changes that he wasn't fully consulted on. Then he decided that his time with the Birds was done. But here's where I'm actually encouraged. Sean Mannon is the new offensive coordinator. This is the 5th straight year that the Eagles have had a new OC. But Stoutland's blueprint is still in the building. Howie Roseman even said it publicly, that the way they evaluate offensive linemen, it transcends scheme. That standard is here, and it isn't going anywhere. So where are we right now? Greenard is locked in and has already bought into the standard. Carter and Smith are under contract through 2027, with extensions possibly coming. The UDFAs show a lot of promise, and the organization just answered some real questions about what went wrong last year offensively. This team isn't in rebuild mode. This is a team that just won a Super Bowl 18 months ago, and is coming back stronger and more hungry. The standard is the standard, and this team hasn't let that go. Now I want to hear from you. How do you feel about Carter and Smith's extensions? And do you think this is a prove-it year? Drop it in the comments section and let me know. And remember to like, share, and subscribe, and to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss what we have next. And once again, I've been Brother Shy, and this has been the Midnight Green Mafia.